never slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever...
Hey team, I hope you're all doing well. Today's topic, I wanted to discuss marathon tapering advice. I wanted to share some of my background with tapering, and hopefully some of this information will be of assistance to you. I think one of the biggest mistakes that a lot of runners make is, including myself, because I've made it in the past too, is thinking that you need to start dropping your intensity and volume too far out from the race. Sometimes runners will start dropping their intensity and their volume like 3 to 4 weeks out from their goal race. And in some cases, marathoners and athletes that are training for these longer races, even shorter races, will do a 3-week taper. And it does pan out for a lot of athletes, but in a lot of cases it doesn't. And I think the problem is we get into this habit of running high volume and doing intense workouts for over a long period of time. In some cases, 5 to 6 months, 3 to 4 months. And I think that once we start dropping our intensity and our volume too far out from our goal races, it makes us feel more flat rather than going into the race feeling refreshed and invigorated and rested. Now, there are about 5 key positives that happen during tapering. The first is enhanced recovery and muscle repair. So, as you know, from training on the roads, training for these longer races, marathon training, for example, can be physically taxing. We deal with a lot of muscle fatigue, and there's minor injuries that do occur within the muscles from doing several months of high mileage workouts, tempo runs, track sessions. So giving yourself sufficient time to recover from all of that heavy training, you're going to go into your race feeling much more resilient, feeling much stronger, and more importantly, giving your muscle fibers enough time to recover and heal from all of those months of heavy training that we do. And I think the tapering phase especially is important for athletes that are focused on road races and doing these longer events like the half marathon, marathon. Of course, track and field athletes, cross-country athletes can still definitely get a proper taper. If they do a proper taper, I believe in a 10-day taper rather than a 3-week taper, because I still want to maintain, what I've done in the past, and I've set new personal records by doing this, is I keep my volume and intensity up until about 10 days out from the goal race. Even my plan for this upcoming marathon, I want to keep my mileage up to around 80 miles a week until I'm 2 weeks out from my goal marathon. Then I will drop probably around 35% from the 80 miles with 1 week out. And then the week of the marathon, I'm practically doing hardly anything. It's just mainly just a few easy maintenance mileage workouts. Maybe 5 days out from the goal marathon, I might do maybe a 3-mile run at goal marathon race pace, or maybe 4 1-mile repetitions on the roads at goal marathon race pace. Second benefit that goes into tapering and discussing this marathon tapering advice for the athletes out there that are preparing for these longer races is restoration of energy stores. You want to make sure that as you lower your volume, as you lower your intensity, this will give your body time to restore those glycogen stores that have, will give you time to replenish those glycogen stores by tapering. So it'll allow you to replenish those and ensure that you have enough adequate energy reserves for the marathon. So as we know, a well-fueled body is definitely going to perform at a very high level. And again, you don't want to run a marathon, especially unless you're fully stocked up on glycogen. You want to go into that race fully prepared, not only rested, but also stocked up on glycogen, so that again you have that energy stores that you're going to need from the start to the finish of your marathon. The third benefit of marathon training is improve mental readiness. Okay, the tapering phase, plays a significant role in mental preparation. After weeks of rigorous training, many runners experience fatigued, and not just physically, but definitely mentally as well. So as you reduce your mileage, you're going to feel fresher and more motivated as the race day approaches. And this mental rejuvenation can lead to increased confidence and provide you a positive mindset when facing the marathon challenge. The fourth benefit of marathon tapering is the maintenance of aerobic capacity. Okay, and what I mean by that is, research has indicated that aerobic capacity does not significantly decline during a short taper phase, which is generally around 3 weeks. But a lot of runners, including those that I coach, including those that have invested in my running courses and training plans, we do a 10-day taper. So even though you're dropping your volume and dropping your intensity, you're still maintaining your fitness level. So, in fact, studies have shown that runners who implement a structured taper often see improvements in their performance compared to those who do not do a taper or who taper inadequately. So maybe they start tapering like 4 weeks out from their race. And again, this topic of marathon tapering advice isn't to say that a 3-week taper will not guarantee you success, because in some cases, runners do very well with a 3-week taper. So, but it is just to give you a general overview of that. A 10-day taper, not drop in intensity and volume until 10 days out from the race versus like 3 or 4 weeks out from the race, may provide you a better stimulus, because again, you're continuing to stress the energy systems of the body up until 10 days out. And really 10 days is really plenty of time for your body to fully heal and restore itself going into your goal marathon. The fifth benefit of a marathon taper is the prevention of overtraining. Obviously, continuing high intense training up until race day is not a good idea. It's not a good plan of action. So giving yourself time to taper properly and to heal properly will not only help you go into that race feeling more energized and not lethargic, but also, more importantly, it will prevent you from overtraining and going into the race feeling fatigued and tired. Now, one of the biggest challenges of tapering for a marathon is the fact is most importantly, most runners that we're so used to doing heavy volume leading up to our marathon. We've been training for several months for this goal marathon race, that it feels unnatural. We feel like we're getting out of shape when we're doing less mileage, when we're doing less volume. Okay, but really, so the challenge is for most runners is to trust the training and to not feel like you're getting out of shape because you're doing less volume, less intensity. Your body, again, you're allowing sufficient time for your body to heal, for those glycogen stores to rise and to stay at a very high level going into your goal race. And you'll get better sleep. You'll be not as stressed and not as fatigued or physically or mentally taxed from the heavy volume you were doing several months going into your goal race. And I do believe, like I mentioned before, making sure that you are fully stocked up on glycogen going into your goal marathon, preferably about 4 to 5 days out from your goal race. Make sure that you're eating plenty of pastas, drinking plenty of fluid, bagels, carbohydrate drinks. My two favorite that I recommend are Hoist as well as Electrolyte. Those are the two I use regularly. And again, just making sure that you're fully stocked up on glycogen, you're fully rested, you've mentally rehearsed and not just physically trained for your marathon, but you've mentally prepared yourself to go into that goal race and to run a new personal best over the 26.2 mile or 42.2 kilometer distance. So I hope this video on marathon tapering advice has been helpful for you. As I mentioned, those are the 5 major benefits of a taper for a marathon. Obviously, going into your race, you want to make sure you're staying as relaxed as you can. And as I talk about in other videos, not trying to win that race in the first half of the race. This is a 26.2 mile race, so do your best to run a negative split if you can. Go out a little bit more conservative in the first half rather than being so aggressive in the first half. And if you can, do the best you can to find a race that's going to be conducive to help you run the fastest time possible that you can. You don't want to run a course like, say, like Austin. Austin is very hilly. Try to find some faster courses, and there's plenty of them out there. Rotterdam is a great one. Berlin, Frankfurt, Chicago, just to name a few. Valencia. Those are the types of courses that you want to go after a fast time on. Of course, you still can set a new personal best on a hillier course. Again, everything's if you've trained properly, if you've tapered properly, if you've mentally and physically prepared yourself and done your homework and training, you can still set a new personal best even on a hillier course. But it's, if you can, do the best you can to pre-plan and to find a race somewhere in your local area or another part of the world that's going to set you up for success and help you run as fast as possible over this particular distance. So if you have any other questions regarding marathon tapering, feel free to leave me a comment below, and also let me know in the comment sections how you've tapered and how it has worked for you. Have you done a 3-week taper? Have you done a 10-day taper? Have you started dropping your volume even further out than 3 weeks and still set a new personal best? I'd love to hear that. So if you have any other questions, leave a comment. And if you're looking to take your training and racing to the next level, definitely check out the resources below these videos or on RunDreamAchieve.com. Thank you so much for your support, and I'll talk to you all in the next video.